How's that? Are we even on?
Yeah, we're on. They can
Well, you know, we talked about winging the broadcast tonight, and I guess we are. I don't know why this is. Oh, I see it. I got it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PLAAY Space Live. Kind of a rough start. I don't like this positioning here. Let me move this up a little bit. That's maybe a little bit better. We're talking about the Continental League, 1961. It was a league, a proposed third major league that, in the words of Commissioner Branch Rickey, was as sure to happen as tomorrow's sunrise. He actually said that on, he made a game show appearance on To Tell the Truth, and he said, hey, this league's going to happen. It's a certainty. But, of course, it didn't happen, and that's a whole story in itself. But what if it did? What would the Continental League have been like? Who would have played in it? How good would it have been? Those are some of the questions that we answer hypothetically with our 1961 Continental League card set for History Maker Baseball. But before we talk about the Continental League, let me take care of a couple of housekeeping items in addition to setting up my microphone. I can't believe we started the broadcast with the microphone. It's like we were on vacation last week. I think we're still kind of on vacation mode. But it's like, you'd think that you'd expect to see the microphone in front of your face, but I didn't. That's pretty funny. Okay, so couple of things. First of all, the Hoops playmats are finally here. Hooray! Let's go to the table cam and give you a look. Nothing too surprising. It looks exactly like the mock-up that we showed you, with the exception it's a little purpley, a little more purple than blue than the mock-up was. But there it is right there for you. And it's basically made of mouse pad material. The scoring grid covers they use the final minute section if you use that option. This covers it up, and you play your game like this. So we've already played Highlight Maker Hoops, so we don't need to go through that. But there's the mat, and it is now available. Oh, and we also have the Hoops How-To Guide, also reconfigured with the we decided to just put Play Hoops up there instead of History Maker / Highlight Maker, since this How-To Guide does allow you to create player cards. The same player cards are used for both games, so we just decided to call it Play Hoops. The cover's a little bit different in terms of the title, but the contents are the same, with the exception of the addition of the missing experience section. It's about a paragraph, so that is in there. If you I'm going to write a blog post about it, detailing the changes. And so bottom line is if you purchase the how-to guide in the pre-order, there's no need to repurchase it. It is essentially the same material. So that will be available. Is it available now?
Do you want me to go ahead and make them available? You can flip the switch right now on the playmats.
Oh, we'll do after the. I don't know. You want to flip a switch?
I'll go right now.
All right. Sam's going to go. Sam is going to go flip the switch on both the mats and the how-to guide for Hoops. Hooray! I don't know what the delay was. We were never really given an explanation, but maybe it's the number of them that we ordered, because we did not want to run out, and I promise you we will not run out of Hoops playmats. The second thing is Play.con. Let's go back to the game. The regular cam. Play.con registration will close in less than a week. Next Wednesday, the 15th. We extended it beyond the 1st to allow for a few more late arrivals. If you've already signed up, you should have gotten an informational email. I sent it last Monday on Memorial Day. It may have gotten sent to your spam folder, your junk folder. I don't know. It was sent from Vertical Response, through Vertical Response, not from a Play.com email address. But if you didn't get the email, first of all, maybe check your junk folder. It may be residing there. If it's not there, then email me and let me know. This is if you have already signed up for the convention, and I will get you the information. We're collecting some information about who's arriving when. We're going to try to coordinate maybe some airport rides. The Rockies are in town that weekend, so we want to, some people are interested in going to one game or another. And we also, some guys are bringing their wives. We want to know that. So if you are coming and you did not get the email, check your junk folder. And if it's not there, email me and I'll send you a fresh copy of the contents of Play.con. If you are considering coming, we still have some spaces left. You can find information about Play.con 2022. It's on the miscellaneous page of the Play Classic website. Just click that and it'll take you. You'll immediately see the Play.con 2022 logo, and you can click there for information. Okay, back to the Continental League. Let's we're gonna get the game mat off. Let's get the game. Are we live with Hoop Stuff?
It is live.
All right, we're live with Hoop Stuff. Let's go to the Continental League. So this is like a little package, like of trading cards, similar to what we did with the Baseball America 10th anniversary set. These are trading card style cards, and they come in. It comes just like the shrink wrapped little block of nicely cut trading card size baseball cards with all the History Maker Baseball ratings on them. So it's got kind of a little commemorative wrapper. It's got a little detail on the back about the league. You can save this. There's our league logo. It's kind of period, very 1960s. And so that's what you will get in your package when it arrives if you order this set. Here is a stack of the cards unwrapped. They are in team order. I will just go quickly through the teams. So we offered this set as a PDF at Christmas time in a vintage baseball trading card layout. We're reintroducing it as a printed and cut card style. As you know, if you followed Play games, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I'm a big fan of alternate leagues, USFL, WFL, XFL, and of course the Continental League kind of fits in that same mold. We did a similar project for second season a few years ago, a hypothetical 1957 American Football League set for second season. And I always wanted to do a similar project for the Continental League, which actually had quite a bit in common with the American Football League. Both were right around 1960. It was a time of huge growth in the appetite for professional sports. Up until that time, it was kind of almost like a cottage industry, although it had been growing. Baseball had been growing since the 1950s. Football really took off in the 1950s. And as a result, cities were clamoring for teams. But the ownership, which was very small in both the National Football League and the Major League Baseball, a very small group of owners, they didn't want to dilute their product. They didn't want to let anybody else in, really. They weren't really motivated to want to grow their leagues. They kind of wanted to keep it all to themselves. So after being rebuffed in their attempts to gain expansion teams, in the National Football League, that's how the American Football League was launched. These guys said, "Hey, we're going to start our own league." It was precisely the same thing with the Continental League. So, same idea. Let's just start our own league. And so this league really does have a lot in common with the American Football League. The difference being, obviously, the American Football League stuck to it and followed through and was eventually absorbed by the National Football League. A lot of people think the same thing would have happened with the Continental League had they stuck with it. But basically, the Major League Baseball owners used the same playbook that the NFL owners did. They raided a couple of the Continental League cities. They put teams there. But it's just I guess the American Football League owners had a little bit more resolve, and they stuck to it. The Continental League folded, particularly after the main mover and shaker, William Shea, was given a team in New York. He was upset that the Giants had moved, both the Giants and the Dodgers had moved to California, and he wanted to get another National League team in New York. That's where the Continental League came in. But then Major League Baseball says, "Hey, we'll give you the Mets," and the Mets started playing in '62, and that was effectively the kill shot for the Continental League. All that to say, the Continental League could have very well been a successful major league. We might, have Continental League teams right now if they had followed through, but it didn't happen. So what would it look like? We created teams. We used primarily the cities that were going to be in the Continental League. We gave them nicknames. We'll go quickly through them and team color schemes. So we have the Atlanta Emeralds with there's Bob Uecker. There are some familiar names. Also, all the players. Before I start paging through the teams, all the players are actual baseball players. In fact, we're going to play a little pickup game here, and I encourage you to follow along and look these guys up on your, Google their names and get a little background information on. But I actually had hoped to release this in 2021. It would have been the 60-year anniversary, but it was a lot of work. Well, we did. We released it at Christmas. I wanted. So the actual opening day for the 1961 Continental League was supposed to be April 18th, 1961, and I really, really wanted to release the set on April 18th, 2021. But it just didn't happen. It was just too. It was not finished. I spent a lot of time doing the research on this. I literally went to baseballreference.com and went through the archives of every active player and found players who could have played in the 1961 Continental League. There are no players from the 61 major leagues, American or National League. Anybody who actually played in 1961 is not in this set. We borrowed from players who retired in 1960 or 1959, guys who maybe debuted in 1962 or 1963, were playing in the minor leagues in 1961. We assumed that there would have been some rating of talent. So there are no players in this set who actually played in the real major leagues. They were all players who could have played in 1961 for another league. So that's how we put this team together. And so, yeah, obviously Bob Uecker was one of those players who was up and coming, was not in the big leagues yet. I believe he is a prospect. Where is he? There's Willie Miranda. So he's on the other side of the coin. He's a guy that played, big star in the 50s, out of baseball. We assumed that he would legitimately have considered playing in the Continental League in 1961. So there's the Atlanta Emeralds. There's Willie Stargell, one of those guys who was up and coming. He's a prospect, and a very good one, as you can see. So there's the Atlanta Emeralds, the Buffalo Bees. You may remember them from our Baseball America. We borrowed some of these team names for Baseball America, the Bees. So the Buffalo Bees with the yellow and black color scheme. There's Sandy Amoros. Looking for some familiar names. Dee Fondy. Look up Dee Fondy. He's got an interesting background. Ray Catt. Then we go to the Dallas Rustlers. And of course Gaylord Perry, up and coming. One of those guys who could have played, was not in the big leagues in 1961. And we got who else? I'll find some names. There's Tex Nelson, Bob Berta. You might have heard of him. Lou Schizas. Chuck Ertl. All right, so there's the Dallas Rustlers. Our hometown Denver Grizzlies are next. I won't go into which teams are better and which teams are worse. I'll let you discover that on yourself. There's Bo Belinsky. There's let's see, Mickey Vernon and others. All right, the Houston Heroes are next. With I'm just scanning through here. Ted Savage, you might recognize. Pete Ward, Bobby Morgan, Bill Kern, and we have the Montreal Royal Blues. Another Baseball America team that we borrowed for a nickname that we borrowed. And these guys have got some familiar names on them. The most familiar, of course, is Hal Jeffcoat. You might have known Rube Walker. Long-time star. But, of course, there's Louis Tiant, who's up-and-comer. We've got Ted Williams, who many people think might have legitimately come back and played another year. He's kind of past his prime in many ways, but we might have seen him in the real Continental League. Max Alvis, and so on and so forth. And we come to the New York Skyliners with Joe Pepitone. Let's see. Here's Carl Erskine, who we're going to put on the mound. We're going to have the Skyliners play the totems for our demo game. He'll be on the mound, the former New York pitcher. And we got who else we have here? Jay Porter, Eddie Haas. We'll set these guys aside. And here's Toronto. We got Don Wirt, probably a familiar name. Gus Zernial is a guy who was quite a power hitter in his limited experience. Willard Nixon will be on the mound tonight. Anyway, there's Amato Samuel. So there's the Toronto totems. The set also comes with some extra players. These are guys that were included as extras. Each team has a base of 24 players. Then we included a bunch of extra players, which you can add or not. They're mostly fringe players. But it does give you a little more depth if you want to. Then, at the end of the set, we have ballpark cards. Each team gets a ballpark card in the team colors, and they're based on actual ballparks. It's the actual ballpark that they would have played in, most likely, had they played in 1961. So there's the ballpark cards for each of the teams, and then we also have.
Perforated down the middle.
Yeah, they're perforated down the middle. You set them up, split them apart. And then there are also umpires. Now the umpires we had to do a little bit of fudging on. We could not find 16 actual umpires who would have been available in 1961. I think we found about 10 of them. The rest of them we filled in with players. So all these people are real people. Some of them were players, not umps, but we made them umps. Like there were veteran players who might have retired in 1955 and who might legitimately have been umpires. So that was our solution for finding 16 umps, because we wanted to be able to have a full schedule of games. So there we go. Let's go ahead and do a quick demo game, and we're going to show you our the Express version of History Maker Baseball that we've been working on. We have been making some progress behind the scenes on that. It will be part of the PLAAY.con festivities, and everybody's going to get one of these in their swag bag, and then we'll make it available after the convention. So it's blank right now. We have not finalized the graphics or anything, but we're going to make the format is going to be very similar to the second season and Cold Snap Express games. Come in an envelope. You'll pull out the charts, and again, there's nothing on these except for the charts. We haven't done the graphics work really yet. So, and this is all on paper. That'll be on cardstock, obviously. So we have the main chart is going to be a trifold chart. It'll actually be we're able to do this with our equipment now. We can. So obviously this is a long sheet of cardstock, but we can trim it and score it so that it will make a nice trifold. I don't know whether it's going to fold like this. Might fold like that. I don't know. But it'll be a trifold like this, and this is the main chart for the game. Then we'll also have separate charts for the men on base chart and the micro charts for umpires and ballparks and so forth. And this, I haven't decided whether this is going to be a separate cards or whether we'll also do a bifold on this sheet. And then we'll have some kind of a little field here that you can keep track of where you can put your umps and your tokens, your base running tokens. A little, kind of a vintage look. We wanted to capture the vintage look. We wanted this to feel like a game that a lot of us played in the 1960s or 70s or 80s. Less production, but more simple and period specific. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up. I gotta move my microphone just a tidge here, though. I don't have a score sheet. Would you just grab me one of those little orange things? So I actually have these guys set up. One of those things we use to put around sets. One of the scrap paper things. So we will go the totems. We'll play this at the Polo Grounds. Ooh, just jostled We'll put this up here. There's our Polo Grounds card. And so the totems will bat first. We'll have Willard Nixon on the mound for the totems. And these are our backups. And for the Skyliners, we'll have Joe Pepitone leading off. We'll have Carl Erskine on the mound. And these will be the reserves, the relief stack. So there we go. And where can I put let's see, I might have to move them up a little bit, aren't I? Where can I put my score sheet? The ergonomics here are... I don't want to spill my drink, mainly, is what I'm trying not to do here. That would be bad. Let's move these guys up here and put my score sheet here.
Is it important to see all of those?
I'd rather see the players than the charts. You don't really need to see the charts. Let's move everything over. How about? In fact, I haven't even decided. We may put the field here. We're still experimenting with this. There's still some playtesting going on. So let's go like this. We'll move the field here, and we'll move everything over here. Now we're on the screen now. Yes, now we're good. All right, here we go. So it's really fun playing with these cards because first of all, it feels like you got baseball cards. Second of all, it's, the teams are vividly different in look, and you can I know it really captures, I think, the whole essence of why we got into this hobby back in the day. All right, so let's just play a quick game here. It is Toronto batting first. Make my own little home score sheet here. I'm not going to go through the rules too much of the Express game, except that it's basically you're going to generate like action in the same way that the second season Express game generates action in chunks. So we do have a batting order, but the players are not it's not necessarily the order that they bat in. It's the order that they're going to appear in like the highlights version of it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Erskine pitching to Don Wirt to open it up. And we roll a 1, 3, 4. And I'm not going to bother to read go, is he a sad sack? No. I'm going to try to skip that, just go right to the result where possible. So this is going to be a no runs inning because Erskine's, because basically his Wirt is not a great batter. So Zernial will come up to lead off the second. And now we go to the Totems half, or the Skyliners half with Pepitone on the at the rubber, at the plate. 1, 2, 3. And that will also be a no-runs inning. So no runs, nobody scores on that. There's a way that I'm working on a way by using the red die to say what to add some pitching narrative. So a red die 2 would be no hits. It would be no hits and 1 strikeout if he was a flash. Obviously, Nixon is not a flash. Well, it's not so obvious, but if you look at his card, it is. So it would just be a 1-2, basically a 1-2-3 inning, no hits for the Skyliners. All right, top of the second, we roll a 1, 3, 5, and that will be another no runs inning. Zernial unable to connect deep in his at bat. Nixon throwing to Torres, 4, 5, 6. He is fresh, which will save him, and he'll get out of it with no runs. Possibly a solo home run if it is a black die 6. It is not. So Torres drove it deep, but did not get it out of the park. And we're still no score at the end of 2. And we roll again. 1, 1, 6. Let's see here. He's not a utility, so that means that we'll get an RBI attempt, and it means so Fazio is going to get a run batted in, and the Totems will take a 1-0 lead. The inning will end though after the RBI. Go to the bottom of the third. 1-1-2. It's going to be another RBI result, and so a matching RBI for Sandy Despino, and we're tied at 1 going to the 4th inning. 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Do we have a star on the mound? No, none of them are star quality yet. And he's not a sad sack. I know I said we wouldn't do that. So we got men on base, and we're going to take 1 from the black die if he's flash or control. And he's got flash, but no, he doesn't have the dot. So we will put a runner on third. So we got a runner on third. And so Jimenez gets on, and Taylor will be up to try to knock him in. Oh, we only roll 2. We're on the men on base chart. And 44, is he a wild pitcher? No, Erskine is not wild. So it's going to be he's going to fly out to end the inning and strand the runner. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Taylor cannot drive in the run. And still 1-1, bottom of the 4th. With Nixon pitching to McDougald. 3, 4, 5. Is he a star? No. I said I wasn't going to do that. We're going to have men on base. It will be runners on first and third because of the black die. So we got runners on first and third. McDougald gets on base, moves somebody else ahead to third base. And now we're going to have men on base and Nixon pitching to Gray with runners on first and third. And another 44, so again, it'll be a fly out to end the inning. So they strand 2. And we go to the top of the 5th inning. Let's get Dick Gray out of there. With Don Eddy batting for the Totems. 1-1 as we go to the top of the 5th. 2, 3, 5. It'll be runners on first and third. Let me check to see if he's got flash. He does have flash, so instead it'll be runners on first and runners on first and second, right? No, hold on. Sorry. Instead of second and third, there's runners on first and third. There we go. So runners on first and third for Erskine's in a little bit of trouble. And here's Dick Trasuski. Let's see, 15. Is he a scrapper? He is. He's going to knock in a double. Runners are going to advance 2. That's going to put 1 run in. The other runner's going to go to third. So the Totems take the lead. Trasuski with the big double, the run-scoring double, to give him the lead. Here's Bob Tillman. Runners on second and third now, and we're starting to warm up the bullpen. Although in this era, they probably wouldn't have gone to the bullpen this early. 45. Fresh pitcher. He is not fresh. Oh, wait. No, he's not, because he didn't get the dot. So it'll be a single, and then the relief pitcher will come in, and then the inning will end. So they'll get another run in. It'll be 2 runs are going to score. So 2 runs come in. Erskine's out of there. Totems have the lead, 3-1. Let's bring in a reliever. Bring in Carl Thomas. So the way relief pitching works in the Express game, I won't explain it here in too much in depth, but instead of going for a specific reliever, you bring in the bullpen, capital letters, the bullpen. And the card that's on top, you create a rotation for your bullpen just like you would for your starters. And so Carl Thomas's card is going to represent the bullpen for the rest of the game. There'll be a couple of other perks, but it's not that he's pitching the rest of the game. It's just that his card is going to represent it, and he's going to get the decision if the decision doesn't go to Erskine. All right, so we go back to the bottom of the 5th inning now. 2-4-6 with Willard Nixon still on the mound. Is he a star? No runs. We have a possible solo homer, but he's only Solly Drake is a scrapper, so he does not drive it deep enough, and that will end the inning. We go to the top of the 6th, and it's still 3-1. And here is Tillman facing Carl Thomas. 2-3-5. It will be runner on first and second. Runners on first and second, so Tillman gets on. And we have more runs threatened for Toronto. 34. Slugger, he's not a slugger. So he gets a single that will drive in 1, and then the inning will be over. So RBI single for Don Wirt off the Skyliner bullpen. It's now 4-1 Toronto, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. 466. No runs, and it was a deep drive from Hall, but he's not powerful enough to drive it in. In other words, he's not a slugger. So no runs in for the Skyliners. It stays 4-1. Top of the 7th now. 2-2-6. Is he a utility? He's not. It's going to get an RBI chance, but he doesn't get the dot, so no runs in. Zernial once again fails to drive in any runs. And it stays 4-1. Bottom of the 7th. Nixon facing Jackson. 2-4-6. He's not a star. Possible solo home run. He is a home run king. Yeah, so solo homer for Ron Jackson will draw the Skyliners 1 run closer. And we go to the top of the 8th with the score 4-2, Toronto. Ernie Fazio facing the bullpen, the Skyliner bullpen, 2-5-6. That is going to be. Is he a? No, it's going to be a runner on second. Oops, leaving my tokens here. So runner on second. Fazio gets a double, and Manny Jimenez will try to drive him in. 23. Is he eager? He is. He's going to ground out to end the inning. So nobody in for Toronto. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And Joe Pepitone. Willard Nixon working on that complete game. 1-3-4. No runs. Pepitone can't do any damage. Top of the 9th. Here's Carl Thomas facing, well, or whomever. He'll get the decision. 2-2-3. It will be an RBI. They'll get 1 in. So Taylor will drive a run in, and that'll give Toronto 5. The inning then ends, and we go to the bottom of the inning. Last chance for the Skyliners. 1, 3, 4. And that will be no runs. He's going to shut him down, get the complete game for Willard Nixon, and it'll be a 5-1 win for Toronto. We did not use the ballpark chart or the experience chart. We didn't even get into that this time, but we did see Toronto with the opening day win over New York, 5-1. The win will go to Nixon, obviously, and I guess Erskine will get the loss. No save because Nixon had the complete game. So there you go. That is a look at how the Express game will work. We're still working on a few things, but it's pretty finished, I would say. We're gonna continue to play test, but I think it's pretty well at the place we like it to be. So. That is our show for tonight. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you being part of our amazing community here at Play Games. Taking time out of your week to watch a YouTube video, that's something in this day and age. So we do appreciate it. Next week we're going to do something to give a little exposure to the Play Now brand. We're either going to do the debut of Planet Flipper. There's another thing that we're working on. We got a lot of balls juggling in the air right now. And Planet Flipper is one of them. So if it's finished and ready to release, we will christen it on the PlaySpace next week. Otherwise, we will go to Plan B, which will be a do-it-yourself dodgeball session. We're having the dodgeball game. The dodgeball game is coming out as part of our convention, and we're having a big tournament at the end of the convention, and it will be where you get to make your own team. Everybody will choose from the same pool of players. We'll give you like a standard selection of 12 to 16 players to choose from to build your team. You'll choose which 7 of them you want, and then you can name them whatever you want. And you can also decorate your cards however you want. So for the in-person tournament, it should be pretty cool. We'll have prizes for the coolest teams. I know there are a lot of guys out there that are pretty good with Affinity Publisher or some other graphics design software. This is on you now to really impress us. Make your own cool dodgeball teams. For the rest of us, there'll be like a coloring book version where you can just make your own teams, or you can just use the teams as they come. We're going to offer it as a download, a free download, and we're going to invite people who aren't coming to the convention to also make their teams. We'll have like a sub tournament for non-live people who are not in person at the convention. We'll have a separate division for people who would like to participate but can't come to the convention. So watch for a blog post coming soon and a free download of those dodgeball teams, and then the instructions on how to make your team. And we'll do that next week if we don't have Planet Flipper finished. All right. Hope to see you here next week. Thanks again for watching the Play Space Live.